Question 3. What is an example of a standard sales process that could be mapped out in Salesforce? A. Proposal, lead, qualified lead, opportunity, negotiation, presentation, closed won. B. Proposal, qualified lead, lead, opportunity, presentation, negotiation, closed won. C. Lead, proposal, qualified lead, negotiation, opportunity, presentation, then closed won. Or D. Lead, qualified lead, opportunity, presentation, proposal, negotiation, closed won. The correct answer is D. A standard sales process in Salesforce will always start with a lead. Once that lead is qualified, it becomes an opportunity. As the opportunity progresses, a salesperson will then make a presentation to the potential client, followed by a proposal. If the client likes the proposal, the negotiation stage is entered. If negotiations are successful, an agreement is reached, a contract is signed, and then the opportunity becomes closed won. Every company is different, and you could make a good argument to reorder some of these stages in the middle. Proposal could happen before presentation in some companies, but there is only one answer choice where both of the lead stages happen first, so D is the best answer given these choices. Looking at the incorrect answers, A, B, and C all have the proposal happening before the lead has been qualified, which you are not likely to see in any standard sales process. Putting together a proposal is usually a lot of work, and any salesperson worth their commission would not invest that time until the lead has been qualified. Question 4. During the project planning phase of a new Salesforce implementation, what should a consultant do to ensure that project stakeholders will be satisfied throughout the project? A. Plan out a billable hour schedule, guaranteeing the weekly hours of each team member. B. Help stakeholders determine KPIs based on business benefits and desired process performance. C. Schedule a stakeholder project update to take place at certain intervals throughout the implementation. D. Exceed expectations by completing extra client requests not included in the statement of work. The correct answers are B and C. B is correct because the client has hired a consultant to implement Salesforce in order to achieve their business objectives. KPIs are the way to measure whether the project is successful. KPI is short for Key Performance Indicator. A KPI is a value that measures how successfully a company has been at reaching its business objectives. An example of a KPI might be total pipeline amount or average converted leads per sales rep. C is correct because communication is key in any project. Whether meetings are happening daily, weekly, monthly, or quarterly, it is essential to schedule time with stakeholders to give them updates on how the project is going, any hurdles that might be in the way, and any milestones that have been accomplished. And it's usually best to schedule those meetings at the beginning of the project to get the meetings on everyone's calendars before their time fills up with other meetings. Now, let's take a look at the incorrect answers. A is incorrect because there are different types of projects in the world of consulting. Some projects might be on an hourly rate until completion, while others might be a fixed rate for the entire project. No two projects are the same, and generalizing hours to maintain a schedule is not a best practice. And guaranteeing anything is almost never a good idea for consultants. There is too much outside of your control. D is incorrect because consultants should generally only be completing items that are written in the statement of work. If items outside of the statement of work are requested, that is what we consultants would call out of scope. If out of scope items need to be completed, a change order must be approved to complete that work. While you may end up agreeing to do some small things over the course of the project, if you do too much of that, you can end up jeopardizing the quality of your implementation. And there might even be some legal implications if you mess up one of those extras. Question 8. The sales manager at Initech has successfully secured a meeting with a new client. When trying to convert the lead in Salesforce, the sales manager receives an error preventing him from converting the lead. Why might the sales manager be receiving this error? A sales manager's lead is associated with an active approval process. B, the sales manager's lead is associated with a pending workflow action. C, the sales manager is trying to convert the lead to a person account. D, the sales manager is using territory management, which blocks lead conversion. The correct answers are A and B. When converting a lead in Salesforce, the lead must not have any active approval processes or pending workflow actions associated with it. If there are pending workflow actions or active approval processes, they must finish before the lead can be converted. To finish an approval process, any remaining approvers need to approve or reject the approval request. Pending workflow actions can be located and manually canceled by an administrator if needed. Now, let's look at the incorrect answers. C is incorrect because you can convert a lead to either type of account, either business or person account. D is incorrect because territory management will not block the lead conversion process. If territory management is enabled in your org, assignment rules will assign the new account to one or more territories depending on how your org is set up, but it won't block lead conversion. If an account is assigned to multiple territories and you create a new opportunity during lead conversion, the opportunity won't be assigned to any territory. Question 13. The sales manager at Initech hired a consultant to implement Sales Cloud Lightning Experience to make the Salesforce experience feel more modern. When a sales rep tried converting a lead to an account, the sales rep was not prompted to create a new task. Why might this have happened? A, enterprise territory management was enabled, preventing lead conversion. B, the sales rep did not properly complete the lead conversion process. C, the consultant did not enable task linking within Lightning Experience. Or D, tasks are not automatically created in Lightning Experience lead conversion. The correct answer is D. In the classic user interface, the lead conversion process required creating a new task for the lead owner. The Lightning Experience lead conversion process does not include task creation. Now, let's look at the incorrect answers. A is incorrect because enabling enterprise territory management will have no effect on lead conversion. Enterprise territory management allows a company to model their sales territories and manage account assignments. B and C are both incorrect because they both suggest human error, but since Lightning Experience doesn't allow for task creation during lead conversion, there's nothing the sales rep or the consultant should have done differently in this case. If the sales rep needs the ability to create a task during lead conversion, the consultant could use Process Builder or a workflow rule to accomplish this. Or the sales rep could switch to Salesforce Classic when converting leads. Question 15. What is true about the path feature in Salesforce? A, it is available for any custom objects in Salesforce 1. B, it allows only one path for each record type of an object. C, it can be enabled directly from the Salesforce 1 mobile app. Or D, it guides sales reps through an org sales process by stage. The correct answers are B and D. Enabling the path feature in Salesforce allows sales reps to be guided through an org's sales process directly from their mobile devices. It also enables desktop Salesforce users to be guided through a process for any custom object or certain other standard objects. Now, let's look at the incorrect answers. A is incorrect because sales paths from the Opportunities object are the only paths available in the Salesforce One mobile app. In the full desktop version of Salesforce, the path feature is available on the Opportunities, Leads, and Quotes standard objects, and also any custom objects. C is incorrect because the path feature can only be enabled via the standard web interface. You can't enable it or configure it in Salesforce One. To enable the path feature in Salesforce, a user can go to Setup and quick find for the word Path. It's in a different place in Lightning Experience Setup than it is in Classic Setup. Question 23. Initech recently released several new products and would like to run a marketing campaign to improve sales. Initech leadership plans to run a multi-channel marketing campaign, web advertising, email, text message, and promotional events, and would like the ability to measure lead conversion performance through each channel. What should a consultant recommend to make this possible? A. Create a different campaign for each channel and report on them at various intervals as requested by leadership. B. Create a different campaign for each channel as a child and then link the children to one parent campaign as a campaign hierarchy. C. Create a different campaign for each product and report on them at various intervals as requested by leadership. Or D. Create a different campaign for each product as a child and link the children to one parent campaign in a campaign hierarchy. The correct answer is B. Multi-channel marketing in this context refers to the different ways that the marketing message is delivered to the target audience for the promotion. In the case of this question, creating a campaign for each marketing channel as a child and then linking the children to one parent campaign will allow leadership to examine which marketing channels bring in the most revenue for Initech while still understanding that these channel campaigns are all part of one combined marketing effort. The questions about marketing on the Sales Cloud exam are all referring to the out-of-box marketing features that are included with Sales Cloud. That means the campaign object and the leads object primarily. And its main purpose is keeping track of the source of leads, and the campaign object may also be used for some basic campaign metrics. You would almost never find the Salesforce lead management and campaigns being used by itself. They will usually be tied to some other marketing product, even if that product is Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Marketing Cloud is not tested on this exam. It's a separate product based on several recent Salesforce acquisitions. It has a separate cloud infrastructure with separate login credentials, and it has its own certification exam. Now, let's look at the incorrect answers. A is incorrect because it does not fit with the requirement to provide a holistic picture of the multi-channel campaign. Leadership would like to measure sales performance through each channel, but also wants to be able to understand the overall picture of the campaign. It would be difficult to show this big picture if the channel campaigns are not linked. C and D are incorrect because Initech leadership would like to measure sales performance of each marketing channel. There was no mention of tracking by product. C and D do not explain how product-based campaigns would enable tracking of performance by marketing channel. Question 27. This year, the sales manager at Initrode has decided to try a new approach to contacting potential new customers by enabling social accounts, contacts, and leads. A sales rep has reported an issue that they have created a new account and linked the contact's Twitter profile to the account, but they are unable to see social information about the contact. Why might the sales rep be unable to see Twitter information about the contact? A, the sales rep is not using the Twitter page layout. B, the contact has a private Twitter account. C, Twitter does not allow access to profiles via Salesforce. D, the contact has deactivated their Twitter account. The correct answers are B and D. The Social Accounts, Contacts, and Leads feature allows a user to see new and potential customers' social media accounts directly within Salesforce. B is correct because the social media networks determine what information you can see based on your own user account for the network and your relationship to that person. If the sales rep is not logged into Twitter, they can only see whatever is publicly available. Or if the contact has a private account and the sales rep is not a confirmed follower or friend, the sales rep may be unable to see any information about the contact. Every social media network has their own rules about what info you can see about their users. D is correct because Salesforce is only able to show what is visible through Twitter's public API. If the contact deactivates their account, all of the contact's information from Twitter will disappear because Salesforce does not cache any social account and contact information. Now let's look at the incorrect answers. A is incorrect because there is no specific page layout needed for access to Twitter profiles in Salesforce. The admin does have the ability to control which social media networks are available org-wide though. They could choose to disable Twitter and leave all other networks still available. C is incorrect because Twitter still offers a public API which allows Salesforce to display social media information. If a social network decides to make their API private, the Social Accounts, Contacts, and Leads feature will no longer work. As of the Winter 16 release, LinkedIn was no longer supported, but Facebook, Twitter, Clout, and YouTube were still available. Question 33. What custom field relationship can be created on contacts related to the accounts object in Salesforce? A, hierarchical, B, master detail, C, lookup, D, indirect lookup. The correct answer is C. In Salesforce, there are many types of relationships that can be defined to relate objects. A lookup relationship links two objects together in a one-to-many relationship. You put the lookup field on the object that should be the many side of the one-to-many. Now, let's look at the incorrect answers. A is incorrect because a hierarchical field relationship is a special relationship that is only available for the user object. A hierarchical relationship can be used to associate users for the example of showing management structure at a company. B is incorrect because master detail relationships are not permitted on the accounts and contacts object. They are used for custom objects. A master detail relationship is an expanded version of the lookup relationship. The master object controls some of the behaviors of the detail object. This relationship is also called a parent-child relationship. It enables the use of roll-up summary fields, and the detail object inherits the sharing settings from the master object. D is incorrect because an indirect lookup relationship links a child external object to a parent standard or custom object. An external object is similar to a custom object, but an external object will pull data from a data source that is outside of Salesforce. Both the accounts and the contacts objects are standard Salesforce objects, and therefore an indirect lookup is not the right answer. Question 34. In the standard sales process at Initech, sales reps are not allowed to provide discounts to customers unless the sales director approves the discount. The sales director is allowed to offer a discount of up to 25% off depending on the customer's relationship with Initech. A sales rep has just closed a deal pending approval of a discount. How can this approval be accomplished in Salesforce? A, create two separate page layouts, one for the sales director and one for the sales rep. B, create one approval process and assign the sales rep as the approver. C, create one approval process and assign the sales director as the approver. Or D, create two approval processes, one for the sales director and one for the sales rep. The correct answer is C. You often see approval processes used in Sales Cloud implementations. This is a classic use case for approval processes for the approval of a discount above a certain threshold. If a sales rep only needs a sales director to approve a discount, a single approval process should be created and the sales director should be set up as the approver. That approval process might be on the opportunity itself, or it could be on a quote or on an order. Our question doesn't specify, so it doesn't matter to us. The important thing is that the sales director is our only approver. Once the sales rep submits the discount for approval, the sales director will then have the option to approve or reject the discount. Now let's look at the incorrect answers. A is incorrect because creating two separate page layouts would not accomplish the goal of approving a discount on a product. B is incorrect because although creating an approval process is correct, the sales director must approve the discount, not the sales rep. If the sales rep approves their own discounts, there would be no reason for the sales director to set limits on discounts to begin with. D is incorrect because creating two approval processes would be unnecessary. You might have more than one approval process if your opportunity needs different approvals as it goes through the sales stages. An example would be if the sales rep needs a manager approval before placing an order, in addition to getting the product discount approval from the sales director. For this question, though, there's no information given that would suggest a second approval process would be required. Question 36. Initrode's sales director has a strict policy that once a sales rep has created an opportunity and marked it as closed won, the sales rep is not allowed to change any data inside of any field for any reason. The only person who can edit data on the opportunity if necessary is the sales director. How can a consultant configure this requirement in Salesforce? A. Create a validation rule to restrict field access by profile type and sales stage. B. Create a workflow rule to restrict field access by profile type and sales stage. C. Use field level security to restrict field access by role, public group membership. D. Create a validation rule to restrict field access to the owner of the record and no one else. The correct answer is A. Create a validation rule to restrict field access by profile type and sales stage. A is the correct answer because it is possible to create a validation rule that will restrict the ability to edit fields based on multiple criteria. In this case, a validation rule can restrict users from editing opportunity fields who do not have the sales director profile once the sales stage has been changed to closed won. Since the sales rep would presumably have a sales rep profile, they will be unable to edit any fields once the sales stage has been changed to closed won. Now, let's take a look at the incorrect answers. B is incorrect because a workflow rule will not be able to restrict access to fields in Salesforce, so it won't satisfy our requirements. Workflow rules are used to modify records or send notifications after the record has been saved. They don't prevent the user from taking an action. C is incorrect because field level security does not apply to roles or public groups. Field level security can only be set on profiles and permission sets, and field level security does not change based on the sales stage. It's great for hiding fields that certain users don't need to see, or if you have specific fields that sales reps should never be allowed to edit. D is incorrect because in this situation, the sales rep would presumably be the owner of the record. If field access is restricted to only the owner of the record, then the sales director would be unable to go into the opportunity to make any changes if they're necessary. And it also would not stop the sales rep from editing a closed opportunity. Question 41. What feature are available in customizable forecasting that are not available in collaborative forecasts? A. Submit forecasts. B. Product schedule forecasts. C. Product family forecasts. D. Territory management. E. Default forecast currency setting. The correct answers are A, B, and D. There are only 3 features in customizable forecasting. that collaborative forecasting does not have. They are product schedule forecasts, territory management, and the ability to submit forecasts. Now let's take a look at the incorrect answers. C is incorrect because the family forecast feature is available in both customizable forecasting and collaborative forecasts. The default forecast currency setting is not available in customizable forecasting. That setting is only available in collaborative forecasts. This question will test your memorization skills. Knowing the subtle differences between each forecasting type will be an easy way to pick up some points on your Salesforce exam. Be sure to know when it's appropriate to use customizable forecasting and when it's appropriate to use collaborative forecasts. The Salesforce help has a comparison chart to make it easy to learn, and I've included a link to that chart in this lesson. Question 43. A group of sales reps at Initrode are working on a large, highly secretive deal in Salesforce. They would like to be able to collaborate with each other while keeping this deal hidden from other sales reps not involved. What solution should a consultant recommend to meet these requirements? A. Create a chatter-free group and add all users working on the deal. B. Create an unlisted chatter group and add all users working on the deal. C. Create a public chatter group and add all users working on the deal. Or D. Create a private chatter group and add all the users. The correct answer is B. An unlisted group can only be seen by members that are in that group. Non-members cannot see or access unlisted groups in list views, feeds, or search results. Users are unable to request membership to an unlisted group and can only join by invitation from the group's owner. So this type of chatter group provides our reps with the highest level of secrecy. One note about unlisted chatter groups: unlisted groups are not available by default. An administrator must enable them before they can be created. Now let's take a look at the incorrect answers. A is incorrect because there is no such thing as a chatter-free group. You can create a group and then invite users with a chatter-free license to join it, but that would not seem to be applicable to our requirements. C is incorrect because a public group will allow anyone to see and add posts, comments, files, and also any user in a Salesforce org is able to join a public group. And we need our group to be restricted to just our sales team members. D is incorrect because a private group is still visible to all users, although a user must request to join the private group. Only members of a private group can see and add posts, comments, and files. An unlisted group is the better answer in this question's case due to the fact that the unlisted group is completely hidden in Salesforce unless a user is a member. Question 47. Executive leadership at Initrode performed an internal audit at the end of the year and noticed that 25% of sales opportunities did not close due to a lack of communication with outside customers. What can be done for next year to help improve customer communication through chatter? A. Assign chatter-only licenses to customers. B. Assign chatter-free licenses to customers. C. Assign chatter external licenses to customers. D. Assign Salesforce user licenses to customers. The correct answer is C. Since the question is asking about communicating with outside customers, C is correct because the chatter external license is for users who are outside of your company's email domain. For example, if Michael, an Initrode employee, needs to interact with Teresa, an employee at Abco, Michael can invite Teresa to a chatter group through a chatter external license. A limitation of chatter external license is that customers can only access information and interact with users in the groups that they are invited to. Chatter external licenses are free, but limited depending on the Salesforce edition being used. Now let's look at the incorrect answers. A is incorrect because a chatter-only license is only available to users within a company's email domain. although a chatter-only license is not a full Salesforce license, it allows users to access some Salesforce objects in addition to chatter. A chatter-only license is also known as a Chatter Plus license and costs $15 per user per month. B is incorrect because a chatter-free license is also only available to users within a company's email domain. Chatter-free users can access standard chatter items such as people, profiles, groups, and files, but they can't access any Salesforce objects or data. Chatter-free licenses are free, but limited depending on the Salesforce edition that your company purchased. D is incorrect because assigning standard Salesforce licenses to external users is not cost-effective and overcomplicated for the purpose of increasing communication with customers. Question 50. Initech has made the decision to enable customer communities to help boost sales. Management would like to keep their community as simple as possible to avoid confusing their customers and negatively impacting business. Which community template should a consultant recommend for this case? A. Aloha, B. Customer Service, C. Koa, D. Kukua. The correct answers are C and D. Both Koa and Kukua are the two community templates that are used for simple customer interactions. In this case above, Initech is looking for simplicity, which is what makes Koa and Kukua the correct answers. Here's a quick look at both templates. Now, let's look at the incorrect answers. A is incorrect because Aloha is an app launcher template that uses single sign-on, a feature that needs to be configured independently of communities. Aloha also uses social logins, which require a social media account to be tied to the customer community user. B is incorrect because the customer service template is the most advanced and complex of the available customer community templates. In our case, we're striving for simplicity, and so this template does not fit the bill. Salesforce, as a company, is known to be influenced a lot by Hawaiian culture. The word koa is a Hawaiian phrase for brave and courageous. Kokua is a Hawaiian phrase for mutual assistance and pitching in. Question 53. Initech leadership wants to be able to analyze lead conversion each month, starting next year, to get a more accurate picture of how their sales team is performing month over month. How can a consultant configure Salesforce to help Initech leadership to accurately report on historical performance? A. Create a standard lead report and set it to run monthly. B. Create a standard opportunity report and set it to run monthly. C. Create a reporting snapshot and set it to run monthly. Or D. Create a reporting snapshot and set it to run yearly. The correct answer is C. A reporting snapshot is a tool in Salesforce that lets a user report on historical data. In the case of this question, we would like the reporting snapshot to run once a month over the course of 1 year to get information about how well Initech's sales teams are performing and converting leads into opportunities. With a snapshot, the historical data will display as it was when the snapshot was taken. Even if many of those leads in the monthly count from last month have since converted, they will still show as unconverted totals in last month's snapshot. Now, let's take a look at the incorrect answer choices. A and B are incorrect because although a standard report type can be scheduled to run monthly, running a reporting snapshot is a better answer because it will give executive leadership the ability to view historical data to see if there are any outliers in monthly data to be better able to assess sales performance. D is incorrect because although the reporting snapshot is the right tool to use, the question is asking for a monthly analysis of lead conversion, not yearly. It is also impossible to schedule snapshots to run yearly. You can only run them daily, weekly, or monthly. Question 58. When importing data to Salesforce, under what conditions should a consultant choose to use the Data Import Wizard instead of Data Loader? A. Software cannot be installed on the consultant's computer. B. All standard and custom objects must be supported. C. There are fewer than 50,000 records to be imported. D, there's no requirement to delete existing records. E, there's a requirement to import more than 50,000 records. The correct answers are A, C, and D. It is important for the exam that you understand the differences between Data Import Wizard and Data Loader. The Import Wizard is a function available for object tabs within Salesforce to import new records from a flat file. Data Loader is a downloadable application that you can install on your computer to do more complex data manipulation. You can import, export, update, and delete records using Data Loader as long as you have the right profile permissions to do so. A is correct because the Data Import Wizard is built into Salesforce and requires no additional software to be installed. The import is handled via the web browser. C is correct because the Data Import Wizard allows imports of up to 50,000 records, so an import of fewer than that would be possible. And D is correct because the Data Import Wizard does not have a delete function. It only allows records to be added but not deleted. Data Loader can be used to delete records. Now let's look at the incorrect answer choices. B is incorrect because although the Import Wizard supports all custom objects, it only supports a limited number of standard objects such as accounts, contacts, solutions, and leads. So if we need to be able to import data for all standard objects, the Import Wizard would not suffice. We would have to use Data Loader. E is incorrect because the Data Import Wizard only supports 50,000 or fewer records. If more than 50,000 records are required to be imported, the Data Loader would be a better choice.